Let's talk about what we are trying to achieve. Well, I suppose what we're trying to achieve to start with is to work out whether or not there's even a reason to do business here. One thing we know for sure is no matter how good we are, no matter how brilliant we are in our own area, is that actually we're not right for everybody, and not everybody is right for us. Even when we think that actually the stuff that we do is going to be really relevant to somebody, it isn't always the case. Sometimes actually they don't even see the benefits of what it is we do. So the first thing we're trying to achieve is we're trying to disqualify people, not in a bad way, but we're trying to work out whether or not they are ever going to do business with us. And, a disqualification might be a no right now. It might not be a no forever, but we at least need to make sure that we're not wasting their time, or indeed our own. How do we do that? Well, we hold ourselves back a little bit. We make sure that we are never being pushy. There's an old saying within Sandler which is simply this: hard sales is good for one thing, hard pushback. So we never ever try to get between where we want the prospect to go and, where they currently are. We try to stay behind them a little bit. So we talk about a thing that we call pendulum theory, which is basically we pull back when they're pulling forward. Because if we pull back a little bit, well, actually we're never being pushy. We're always kind of staying one step behind them and making sure that they don't feel uncomfortable or like we're trying to force something on them. People love to buy things, but they hate to be sold to. So don't make them feel like you're selling stuff to them. Make them feel like the truth, which is that actually all you're really trying to do is find out exactly what is going on in their world, that you genuinely care. Remember the old adage, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. You need to actually really try to get inside what's happening in their world. What are the problems they've got? What are the impacts of those problems, and can you even fix those things? Now, that means that you've got to make it about them, not about you. So there's another Sandler rule here, which is simply this: never spill your candy in the lobby. What that means is you don't simply show up and throw up, give them all of your features and all of your benefits, because that's really talking about you. Features are, all about your product. Benefits are all about your perception of, what might benefit them, which is kind of a little bit egotistical, because it's basically saying to them that you know their world already. You already know their business, and you know it better than they do. That's not the case. Realistically, they know their company better than you do. So for you to really be able to sell to them, you need to understand whether or not they need what you do. And to do that, you've got to be able to ask good questions, which means taking your ego out of the situation and staying one step behind them on the pendulum. So if they are interested in what you do, you deny their interest a little bit. Say something like, okay, I don't understand. Why would that even be relevant to you? Just pull it back a little bit. Get them to actually explain to you why it's relevant, or why they think it might be relevant. In the end, by the time you've gone through this process, they feel like they've had a great conversation. They may have even discovered things about their own business that maybe they didn't know. And you've done it in a way that means they never ever feel like you are trying to force your product onto them. It's an extremely ethical, balanced way of approaching this, and it's a relationship of equal business stature.